Hi everyone, Dave here, Derby Train fan. Now, for those of you familiar with my layout, you will know that it runs on DC power, not DCC power. And I often get asked why, with a layout of this size, I never went down that DCC route. The simple, honest answer is that when I started constructing this layout many years ago, I simply could not afford DCC locos or the equipment. As the years have gone by, the layout has expanded, as well as my collection of DC locos. So there is a slight reluctancy to convert to DCC now. Saying that, there is also a small part of me thinking that I might be missing out, especially when it comes to locos with sound. Interestingly, in the Bachmann Europe combined catalogue, there's a whole section about sound fitted locos and a claim that their range of these locos will actually work on DC layouts. There's an entire paragraph on page 8 that clearly says on analogue control our sound fitted models will play realistic engine and exhaust sounds when in motion, along with a selection of other sound effects that play at random. Well, this got me thinking, so I went shopping. Now I know what you're all thinking. Blimey Dave, that's an expensive test if it all doesn't work. Well, I'm not as stupid as I look, and I did a little bit of research and found out that if you take the sound chips out and replace it with a blanking plate, then the locos are instantly converted to DC locos. And they are the three locos that I really like, really wanted. So, yeah, risk worth taking, I think. I purchased the Class 37800 Cassiopeia in the Euro Phoenix branding, Bachmann's model code 32393 ASF, the Class 66 66419 Freightliner, that's the Bachmann code 32739 SF, and the Steamer, the MR1532 in black with the early emblem. That was Bachmann's code 31742 SF. So I think we should have a look at them, see what they sound like. Now, before we all get carried away, it's always a good idea to have a look in the instructions. There's a section here about running on DC with a highlighted note saying that if this model is to be controlled with an analogue DC output controller, Bachmann Europe plc recommend the use of a controller with a smoothed output. If you intend to use a feedback type controller or one with PWM, pulse width modulation, or very technical that, please consult the controller manufacturer before using it with this model. Well, doesn't really mean a lot to me, but luckily I've got the instructions for the controller I use and it seems I'm good to go. I've used various controllers over the years, but I'm currently using a Vortrac 010 Crawler controller made by Morley, British made, very good, and comes with plug-in wide remotes. This fits the criteria for the Bachmann models, so we shouldn't be having any problems. Let's see. So that's the 37. Admittedly, it hasn't been running properly, I know that, but there is a distinctive whine, some sort of buzzing noise coming from the bodywork. Now, the camera itself does pick it up far more than you hear in person, but it is definitely there. Now, I did find as it went round, if you were to place your finger on the actual bodywork, it does dull that buzzing noise slightly. So I think it's probably motor vibrating on the bodywork somewhere, but definitely not right and needs looking at. Otherwise, I think the 37 sound is quite good. I like it as it starts up and accelerates away, and it does have some random noises as it goes round. So yeah, that's the 37. Let's move on now to the 66. Well, straight away, the startup of the 66 sounds amazing, absolutely amazing, and it very happily sits there and makes noises stationary. Really, really good. once it gets going and it starts going off around the course and the layout, it starts to sound a bit like a fire engine. Very repetitive, and I imagine running it for a long period of time it would end up being shoved in a siding and forgotten about. I think it would be very, very annoying. But the actual startup, brilliant, really good. And finally, the steam loco. I have to say, I really, really like this engine. The detail is incredible. It whizzes around the layout with no problem whatsoever. The varying random sounds, the glowing firebox. I really like this loco. And it had no problem whatsoever in pulling the coaches on that short test. So there's a few more details to put on it in the detail bag, which of course I haven't done yet on any of these models, but yeah, I think that's probably going to be my favourite. I'm not sure. So there you are, folks. All three of my sound fitted locos have been around the layout numerous times, and well, it proves that yes, they do actually work on DC layouts, albeit with quite a few limitations. Does the added cost of buying a loco with DCC sound, do you get the benefit from it? I'm not so sure. They're great models and they are fun, and they will happily sit in a siding on tick over making some various noises, which is a great effect. They will certainly play a part on my layout, but will I rush off and start buying lots more DCC sound locos? I'm not so sure at this stage. There are plenty of other methods of putting sound into DC locos, so maybe I'll start looking at some of that, but I don't regret buying them, and I think it's been quite fun looking at how they operate and how they manage with DC power. So I hope that's been useful. If you've got any comments or thoughts, please let me know, and until next time, take care.